All right, guys. This video has been a long time coming, and a lot of people have asked me why I hate Frozen. A long time ago, I made a video about it was like a bracket full of Disney movies and Pixar movies, and I was like ranking them to see which one was my favorite. And I just kind of crossed out Frozen without really explaining it, and a lot of people have asked me about this movie because I really hated it a lot, at least when I first saw it. Um, Now, let me preface my explanation by saying that if you like it, I have no problem with that. And this kind of goes into, movie criticism in general and rating them. Now, if you like it, I have no problem. If you like a movie like that's let's talk about movies that are generally lauded as not lauded, generally regarded as bad, like uh, M Night Shyamalan's Avatar, Dragon Ball Evolution. They're just bad. But if someone liked it, let's say a small child who doesn't really differentiate what a bad movie is. If a small child enjoyed it, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie just to take away the joy from it. So hopefully that me giving my opinion of this film does not affect your opinion of it. Because if you liked it, then I love that you like it. Because actually, I gave this movie several tries because I hated it the first time. I watched it again, realizing, wait a minute, not everyone agrees with me. I'm in the minority on this. Most people liked it. And I thought that was crazy because when I walked out of the theater, I was talking to all my friends and none of us liked it. I watched it with like maybe 5 or 6 people. And I haven't gotten into it yet, but anyway, I gave it a shot like 2 or 3 times, and then even a fourth time with another person who like enjoys every movie, because they say sometimes if you watch a movie with someone who enjoys most movies, maybe you'll be able to see why they enjoy it, and you can get a kick out of it yourself. Kind of take away your standards. I had already lowered my standards for sitting down and watching it, thinking I'm really gonna try to dig deep in this film for something to like, and I still didn't quite get it. And maybe it's something just personal for me, the way it makes me feel. And I'm gonna start getting into it now. The explanation of why I don't like it. When I watched the movie, it made me feel a lot of not positive emotions. I wouldn't say negative because it's not totally negative. Because the emotions of cringe and embarrassment, which were some of the feelings I was feeling, were there. And I'm not just saying that because it was a children's movie and and I'm an adult male and I don't relate to it. It's not just because of that. I still love Tangled. I still love Aladdin and Lion King. They're awesome, right? They awaken a part of the child in me that feels a lot of genuine emotions in relation to the characters on screen. Um, Now, let me talk about my experience actually going through the film. In the very beginning, it has like this sort of cool operatic sound. There's this sort of, I guess, this North European chorus, and the guy is cutting the ice, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is all right. It's cultural. And then that kind of goes in a totally different direction. I don't even know why they have this song. Like the cohesiveness of the story can totally go without those that ice song in the beginning, right? It has nothing to do with the story. Um, and then you get into the ocean. I mean, not the ocean, the ice country with actually it's not an ice country. It's a normal country. You have Anna and Elsa as little kids. Elsa has this power. Okay, the setup is cool. Um, do you want to build a snowman? Cute song. I liked it a lot. And then they grow up, and Anna is singing for the first time in forever, and I think that at that point I started feeling like, where is this going? Um, First of all, Alan Menken and old Disney movies have given us a high standard for the musicality, the quality of the music, and it's not really that great, in the for the first time in forever. And I feel like also the song wasn't trying to take itself seriously. Now, historically, Disney, they have parodied themselves a little bit in movies, which is fine, kind of poking at themselves a little bit. But I feel like this movie took it to another level, where you have, in a lot of the beginning of Disney movies, you have the character expressing their desire. And Anna's desire was just to get out of the castle and experience the world. Um, and I don't know, there's some lines thrown in like, I just want chocolate, or I don't know if I'm elated or gassy. Like, why? It, are you trying to make the character relatable? Like, I think those specific lyrics really took me out of the experience, way worse than a lot of other songs, because they have nothing to do with the story. You're just trying to make a character, give the character personality quirks, and to me that didn't do anything for me. And again, I don't want to come off as too critical. I'm just talking about why the movie made me feel a certain way. So even that near the beginning took me out of the experience. And from then on, I didn't really know where the story was going, because she just wanted to get out of the castle, and then she did, and then you have Elsa with these powers. I don't remember everything that happened in the story, but I think even from just that first for the first time in Forever song, it really took me out of it. Now look at this guy right here, Hans. He comes in, and they're like, let's get married in the very, really close to the beginning. What's that song? That song was actually pretty cool. I forgot the name of it. Was it? Anyway, they sing that song together, and it's like, that's kind of cute. And then they're trying to set up a twist for Hans, right? Because remember, near the end of the movie, Hans reveals himself as the villain, and there are foreshadowing hints that Hans is the villain within that song, where he says, "I'm just trying to find my place," and she says, "I see your face," right? So those are pretty well hidden, but they're too hidden. I would have liked a stronger setup for Hans as the villain. I would have liked stronger foreshadowing. I would have liked the movie to make it more obvious. And if it was obvious to you, then kudos to you for catching it, but it wasn't obvious to me. So when Hans' twist comes, it's completely out of nowhere for me, because I didn't see it coming at all. I know I did have some friends who said, "Oh yeah, I totally saw that coming," and maybe if I had your foresight, I would have enjoyed it more. There's Kristoff. My favorite. Like I said, I'm just talking about the feelings I felt during the movie when Kristoff plays his cute little song. Reindeers are better than people, or I don't remember the melody. He says reindeers are better than people. I remember specifically thinking when watching the movie for the first time, yeah, reindeers are better than people because they're better than all the characters. Your reindeer is better than all the characters in this movie. And I just remember I was feeling so antagonistic toward it throughout. And again, as I tried the movie 2, 3, 4 more times, that antagonism in my heart, in my soul, eased up. I was really trying to give it a chance. And then Kristoff kind of does this, trying to act like a reindeer, or trying to talk to the reindeer. Kind of like baby talk. I don't know. It was rough. Again, I'm not a child, and I'm sure if you're a young girl or if you're a young boy, you probably will not be feeling any of these things. So again, why I hated Frozen is subjective. It's totally subjective. When I watched the movie, I had a bad experience, and I'm giving you some examples of why. Now, all throughout the movie, I was feeling this. in almost every part, maybe all set up because of the for the first time in Forever song, which took me out of the experience near the beginning and made it hard for me to accept everything else moving forward. Let It Go, that was a pretty cool sequence. But even during Let It Go, I remember thinking during the movie, again, this is subjective, I remember thinking, man, I felt embarrassed for all the animators who made this. By the way, the animation is beautiful, very top notch. It's Disney. It was this really cool animation sequence during Let It Go, and I'm like, man, I felt embarrassed for all the animators who had to work on this because the story isn't good. It's very bad. Those were my thoughts during the first time I watched it. Now, if I were to watch it again, still giving it a chance, my experience might be different, but I probably still wouldn't like it, knowing that there are weaknesses in the story that are very clear to me. And then we can talk about Olaf a little bit. A lot of people think Olaf is an annoying character. Some people like him. I thought the summer song was kind of cute, kind of funny, and kind of creates comic relief. And there are sort of sidekick animal characters in a lot of Disney movies, and some of them even get their own songs. Like Genie in Aladdin. I mean, he's more of a main character, but he gets his own song, and he's sort of the comic relief character, right? And Genie drives the story forward because his powers are very pivotal to how the movie moves forward. In fact, it is the story basically, right? He can grant 3 wishes. Now Olaf, I didn't feel was necessary. I mean, he's comic relief, kind of like Pascal, right? Pascal, the chameleon in Tangled. He doesn't really have much of a purpose either, but he still felt like he was in place. Now Olaf doesn't feel out of place, but the way he talks again is like kind of baby talk, and it didn't sit well with me. And the summer song was cute, clever, but at the end of the day, none of these things had the redeeming qualities to bring the story together as a whole. And I have high hopes for Frozen 2 because the trailer looked really cool. Elsa's character model looks great in the new one. The character acting looks amazing in that little teaser trailer that they did with Elsa running up the wave. But anyway, in conclusion, and a TLDR version for you, I had a bad experience when watching Frozen for the first time because of some of the reasons I listed. And if you had a great experience, I wish I was you. You know, I wish I could like it. That's how I feel about it. I wish I could like it. If we ever sit down together and watch the movie together, I could probably point out to you tons of things. But I remember being the reason this topic is important to me is because I was in the minority, because most people at the time liked it. Now, if you didn't like it, maybe for the same reasons that I didn't like it, then we're in the same boat. But let's not say that our opinions are law. I don't want to say that with this video. Because my opinion is different from yours because of your subjective experience. Now, we can talk a lot about truth and objective truth and ways to rate films based on the merit of the film. But at the end of the day, that's not the purpose of a movie. The purpose of a movie is to tell a story and make you feel feelings and maybe learn something from those feelings while telling a story. Now, for me, Frozen was not effective in doing any of that. And so I really didn't like it. That's it. So, yeah, I know some of you have been wondering that, and that's my answer. We can get more in depth. You can maybe message me about it, or maybe even ask me questions. I can answer it in another video. All right, that's all. And I hope, please don't dislike the video just because I don't like Frozen. In fact, I'm just trying to tell you that if you like it, that's awesome. And if you don't like it, that's awesome too. All right, that's all. I love you all. God bless. Peace out.